Welcome to Spa. My name is Christoph Ulrich. I race in the Michelin Le Mans Cup with a Ferrari 488 GT3. Here we are in front of the paddock of the ELMS, European Le Mans Series race, which is another race, 4-hour race, which will held here in Spa tomorrow, Sunday. And I will show you a bit of the AF Corse paddock here of the ELMS. Just follow me. So we have two cars here in ELMS GTE category. I'll show you here a bit of the tires. So we have Dunlop tires. Dunlop is the only supplier for the GT category in the ELMS. We have intermediates when the track is just a bit damped but not really underwater. Here we have used slicks, as you can see. They have been used, I don't know, in the free practice or transport or something like that. And we have the rain tires for heavy rain and when the track is heavily wet. This is our garage, the same garage as Formula 1 is using. We have two cars here, as I said. One race under the banner of Spirit of Race, and the other one runs under the banner of Lucid Racing, but it's all managed by AF Corse. AF Corse is the Ferrari factory team, but also supplying customer racing for GT3, GT and GTE. We can have a quick look at the cars. They're still on the Parc Fermé because they just came back from the qualifying, so we cannot touch it, but we can have a quick look. The car you see here is a 488 GTE. It's based on a road car, but not much. The parts which are still similar with the road car, identical with the road car, the 488 you can buy at the dealer, are the front and the rear lights and some minor parts of the chassis. All the rest is racing car and has nothing to do with the road car. The engine produces about 500 horsepower. That seems not much compared as the road car has today, I think, over 700. The reason why is, as we have different concepts in a championship of GT cars, we have a Porsche, we have Ferrari, we could have Aston Martin. So the regulations balance the cars in terms of performance and aerodynamic. And to balance it, that the car have more or less the same performance, race performance, we get less horsepower. So you could theoretically run this car just on a track day without any restrictor, and you would have also close to 700 horsepower, and then the car would be very, very quick. The performance you get here out of the car is a lot coming from tires and the aerodynamics. So you see here on the side and on the back all the aerodynamic which is added on the car, like big rear wing, diffuser in the back, then here on the side, big skirt on the side. Even the mirrors are shaped in the wind tunnel. And a big splitter at the front. So the air goes under the car and through the coolers, which are located in the front of the car, and go out here in the middle of the front hood, which is then like a big wing, you know, from Formula 1. The second car is not yet back from Parc Fermé because the car has done a second position in qualifying, so it's still there at scrutineering to check if everything is okay with the car, but we will have a look later on. Usually here are about 30 people, engineers, and strategic decisions are done during the race. So as I say, tomorrow will be the ELMS race, the European Le Mans race of 4 hours, 3 drivers sharing a car, and all the strategies about pit stop, tire change, driver change, whatever are done here. You can have a look. So a bunch of computers, monitors, everything, real life data, telemetry are submitted and sent by the car. And the engineers, they can immediately see when there is a problem on the car or if the driver has done a mistake. So there are no excuses anymore. They see it immediately when the driver has done a mistake. So AF Corse is, as I said, is an Italian team. supporting also Ferrari in the WEC with the 2 pro cars, the 51 and the 71, competing in the World Endurance Championship with the 488 GTE, which is similar to the one we just saw. So here we are in the paddock of the Michelin Le Mans Cup, where you will see my car, and which is a Ferrari 488 GT3. So just follow me and I'll show you around. We also have 2 cars here. As you can see, the old pits of the Spa-Francorchamps circuit, they are a bit less fancy, but with lots of heritage. So for the mechanics and everybody, it's a bit more challenging to work here with all the stuff, with the tires, with the fuel and everything to manage it. The difference between the race series we just saw, the ELMS and the Michelin Le Mans Cup, is we have a different car. So we up there we're using the 488 GTE, and here we use a 488 GT3, which is a car made more for amateurs than not for professional drivers. The races in ELMS, they go for 4 hours, and our race goes for 2 hours, and the car is shared by 2 drivers, and minimum 1 driver needs to be a so-called bronze-rated driver, amateur driver. So I'm the bronze-rated, and my teammate Mediani, he is the professional driver. He's racing for, I don't know, 30, 40 years already. I'm racing for about 3 years, so that's the big difference in experience. I try to show you the car. Not sure if the mechanics already done with the car, so we can have a look. Not much space, as I said. From the first view is another big difference between the 488 GT3 and the 488 GTE. You can also convert the GT3 into a GTE. It's possible, or the other way around. That's one of the big advantage of this specific car. Not other, I think just 1 or 2 other manufacturers are offering this kind of solution. The aerodynamic is different, the engine is different, but the interior, the steering wheel, everything is absolutely the same. I have quite a bright color, you can see here. It has kind of a story behind it. When I bought a 458 GT3 about 2 years ago or 3 years ago for my first season, it had this color. It was a used car, but not much used. And it had this color, so I left on the car because it was the original color. The car came like this from Michelotto, and the previous customer asked for it. And it's the same red as the Italian ambulance. So you see the car very well when it's on TV or when it's on the track. And for my second car, I thought, okay, I'm going to leave it. And for sure we need to have, for sure it's an Italian team, so we need to have the Italian flag, the tricolore, which is also for the road models, something what very often just remember one of my favorite cars, which is the 360 Challenge Stradale. So I gave a bit of a homage to this car, and so that's the story behind this very bright and flashy color. The car produced about 500 horsepower here as well in this championship. One of the major differences between the GT3 and the GTE, apart from aerodynamics, is that we have a race ABS, which the GTE doesn't have. In the dry, it's not a big difference. It can help you, but it's a big difference when the track is wet. That's also one of the reasons why the other championship also has intermediate tires, which we don't use. Here you can see a bit more of the aerodynamic solution. On your road car, that would be for your luggage, which we don't have here. So we have here on the front, here is the cooler. The air goes in here and goes through the coolers and comes out on the top of the front tooth, and that works like a big front wing, like an F1 front wing. And also you see here a special shape of the front wing. So the car takes the air under the completely flat under tray, and thanks to the big diffuser at the end, you have some kind of a vacuum which helps to keep the car on the ground and to produce the downforce. That helps you in fast corners, and especially here in Spa with Eau Rouge, Pouhon and Blanchimont, the three very fast corners. You're happy that you have this kind of support to keep the car on the track.
It was a very difficult race. We had a problem with the car from the first lap with a huge vibration. We also had that in the practice, and we couldn't find where the problem is. Sometimes it was difficult to see the track, so the car was very challenging to drive. With P3 at the end, with a bit of luck, that other cars were involved in some accidents and got drive through because of they didn't respect track limits or whatever. So that's always part of a race. Sometimes you have a bad luck, sometimes you have more luck, but at the end it's endurance. It's called endurance races. So to finish first you have to finish. And we are happy with P3. And now it's just one race to go in Portimao in about 1 month. And now the car will go back to Piacenza to the workshop and will be completely dismantled, and we will have a test in about 10 days to check what is really wrong with the car, what caused the problem. But for the moment we are okay, we are fine, so we see. Off to the next one.